I would love to be on here and discuss these topics with you if you find them interesting, if you find them to be of value or worth in your life. But I fear, which is valid and real, and it is one of the aspects in which we'll be discussing, which is part of the role of the 18. We're not going to be discussing fear today. We'll be discussing other elements, 3 of them in fact, 1, 2, and 3. But I fear that the censorship has become so great when you witness into the world and the channels in which you probably looked at previously and wonder why there's not much content being created, wondering why there's all these deleted videos when you go into your watch later category and you see and witness that there has been a deletion of history. So perhaps this may be why you see handwritten material on my channel, even though I know some of you probably don't like that very much. You want to be able to read it, but I can't use the digital medium for this type of stuff because it's simply some kid with braces in a basement of some major tech company who gets paid $10 an hour can simply hit a keystroke and erase your entire life's work. And then you have to go through a process to ask for that work back. And I'm sharing this with you because perhaps someday this channel will be terminated through the pressing of a keystroke, because I've witnessed people out there who I admire, who I respect, who has helped me on my journey and opened my eyes. And their life's work has been taken from them. I see what they do. I know how much work this is, and they put a lot more into it than I do. So if you guys are doing magical practices out there, I would suggest that you do it with your own hand. You don't have to. You're not required to. You can do it any way you want to do it. But it was brought up to me yesterday that I should look at, creating these things a little nicer, a little more presentable, but that would lose its meaning and it would diminish its power. Because someday, hopefully, some of you will try and make these sigils and forms yourself. And then you will witness how they work as a tool in your life and how you can wield them. Now remember, the great warning is this: it can be a weapon, or it can be a tool, or it can be a trophy, if you'd rather. It doesn't matter. It's how you use it. And through this process, you are allowing its charisma to come into you. Its attention to now be a part of you because you asked to have a relationship with it, and through its nature, it is required to oblige. And it doesn't oblige because it doesn't want to. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It obliges you and gives you, through your command, what you ask. And that is what conjuring is about. And the conjuring in which you're learning here is one based on respect and sincerity and sovereignty. So that way, when you do ask for something from the universe, so to speak, if you learn here, it's from the earth, but we're no longer allowed to talk about those kind of things, are we? Based on the language I'm seeing, I can't bring up certain subjects regarding the earth now. This is a no-no. we can't talk about those things because it goes against the language in which they corral us in. They want to make sure that we are using words that are consistent and in harmony with a program, with a system, with a beastly thing, which is what this type of magic is based off of. It's based off Earth's creatures. Now, the Earth loves and adores, above all others, I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but mankind is a great expression of the Earth's intelligence and wisdom. She favors mankind for some reason. I don't know why. But she is called wisdom. And since that's something I feel is lacking in places in the world, maybe in her wisdom she knows best. So she currently enjoys the human species. That's why there's so many of us. She has populated the tree of the earth with lots of people apples. All right. Here I go, getting on sidetracked. Let's go over the synergistic system that overlays to the elemental process. Okay? So you guys thought the last system was complex, which I received comments about. This one is more complex. The reason why this is more complex is because magnetism is equal on all sides. So you have to have a collection, a group, to actually perform this type of magic. You can't just do it with just one, right? But you can try it, and you'll get limited results. But then what you're doing is you're actually using force magic and not magnetic magic, not power magic, okay? Hopefully you guys are understanding me so far. And in this system, strangely as it may sound, when you actually dive deep into the realms of how this magic was created, the thing that I find most interesting is all of the personalities and characters in which you build in this type of magic are all female. They're all feminine energies. And this is perhaps why I speak of the earth as a she. Because that is exactly how she communicates to you. I hope some of you out there who have experienced such things know exactly what I'm talking about, because I realize how crazy it sounds when I say those type of things, because it anthropomorphizes the earth itself. But isn't that what the earth is but matter? Isn't it a creation of something physical and substantial? So I guess it would be, right? It would be a creation of matter in that sense. So you have to think of this system like an egg. In fact, it's even shaped like that, where the elemental Hypertech system is actually a compass. North, south, east, and west. Up, down, left, right. It is hyperdimensional in its direction, where this one is an egg in which you can permeate it, you can bring things from outside in, and you can take things from the inside out. And what is in the inside but nutrition? Okay? That's what's on the inside, is all the nutrition. And that is what you use in this magical practice. You bring that out of you. And then you offer it to something outside of yourself through the magnetic properties of sound. Please, sound. sound, okay? This magic is actually performed from the throat, not the mind, not the gut, and not even necessarily the heart per se. That's the elemental side. But this one is hidden because it's in places that you don't suspect. The solar plexus also play a role in this. Okay? Your legs. Oh, your legs. Anything that has two associated to it, a duality, as well, like you have two nostrils, two eyes, two ears, two eyes, two lips. Okay? This is the extrapolation of that process. So the first position, which you probably heard me mention Allie in the last, or one of the last videos. And that was just a clue for those out there who are playing the game. And there is a game that has been built into this. But again, I might need to cut to the end here soon because the time is short. The language is already being censored pretty heavily here recently. And I don't see anybody out there doing anything about it. Anybody who's can do stuff. So this is why this system hopefully will be of benefit to you later on, because I use words in the art to assist you in the learning process. So that way you're learning on a dimensional level and not just on a physical one, which is designed to be linear. The complexity here is not to be linear, is to be toroidal. The remote viewing in which you're learning here is very advanced. And through that advancement, there are only very few people who will even be able to understand this information, who will even be able to understand how to implement it. But the good news is there are people out there who do, because they take the time. And this is why I need to remind you, is that this magic takes a lot of work. And that is how you get through the levels and degrees in which this magic grows from. Because the growth actually doesn't come necessarily up, it actually grows downward in this type of science. So when a good example would be is when you walk, you push your energy into the ground like a spiral of roots. And so as it does that, every time you walk, you spiral your roots into the ground, and now you have now grounded yourself. You remove inflammation out of the body. You allow the earth to absorb who you are. Okay? And this will bring you balance, an equilibrium. Okay? Now, having rubber between your shoes, having rubber between you and the earth, that does harm you to a certain degree. So be aware of that. You know, but the rubber also protects you too, right? Because you need it for, get a sticker in your toe or whatever. You don't have to worry about walking on something that can cut you or get your feet dirty. So, long story short, geez. The first position is Ali. Or, if you like, we can use the ancient Indian system, East Indian, by the way, and call her Kali. Now, Kali is the Capricorn sign as well, for those who want to dig deeper into her role in this, but she is in the first position. Now, what you can do if you are a warrior is she is responsible for rage. And if you have that, she will teach you how to wield that properly. Okay? Now, what Kali requires in return for this type of schooling, this education that she gives, is your payment is commitment. Okay? Now, we can go into all the things of her teachings, and there are 10 of them. And for those who are participating in the game, I'm going to give you the clue to finding Kali, and it is in the word crocodile. Okay? Even though that's not her symbol, but it is a way to discover. Okay. So, the second position that we will be discussing, or are discussing, I should say, is the one that holds the position of Taurus. And in the ancient systems, this is Tara. Okay? Now, Tara is Taurus the bull, of course, and Tara is responsible for liberation. Okay? Tara is a selector, so you would use her in a way that is like a specialty, more for a community guidelines and things like that. She works in those fields where she bridges together the other elements. Now, if you want to charge, then you would use Tara for this one. Okay? That's what her specialty is. So that's how she will teach you about what that is. That is her warrior's position. Preservation is a key component for this position. And at some point, I want to show you how you put these around the elemental hypertech system, because it is a formation. Okay, because these things have to work like gearing, and the ratios have to be correct. And the ratios are different than the ones that they represent in the sky, like the zodiac. They're actually in a different type of figuration. Okay? Because you actually will bounce back and forth between them through a combination system where the different combinations you use will do different things for you. And when you overlay it with the elements, you are giving the elements a roadmap, a blueprint on where to go and access that which you are looking to discover, whether it be opals or a girlfriend or whatever you guys want, to fly an airplane. Okay. You can even use this to kill, which I will not be teaching you how to do that. Okay. But there are methods for that, and they are fascinating. And when if they work, just remember, everything requires payment and a price. So know what you're doing. Okay, so Tara, very similar to preservation and community and specialty, so that's what you would use her for. Next, after liberation, is Virgo. And Virgo is the enforcer, glamour, things like that, right? In the Indian arts, I think she is called Sundari. Okay, if that helps you out there who want to learn more about this. Okay. Now, what's interesting about her is she also is responsible for a Trinity system. And beauty is the term in which she controls. So if that's what you're looking for, this is what you would use Sundari to help you with. Okay, and she is in position 3. And Sundari has been bridged from Tara over to Sundari because she is alchemy. She is that conversion of change, okay? And through that, she is also responsible for the humanities of things, right? When she sees the ugliness of the world, you can call upon her to vanquish it. Okay. After that, we'll get into a couple more where we enhance and then we promote, and we'll kind of go from there. But I wanted to give you these 3 for now. And this is, for some, depending on how you use it, this would be at the top. That comes inward to you. Or you can turn it upside down and it can be at the bottom. So within the egg, it would be concave on one side and convex on the other. So, there you go. We'll stop right there. These are 3 of the 18 ladies in which we will be discussing that belong to Mother Earth